Hi everyone, welcome back. I am planning on finishing up the autumn wall hanging that I'm doing. This is part of the Stitch Along Stitch the Seasons with Corrine at To Be Loved Treasures by Corrine. And I will link her in this video below since this is the final one of the autumn. I linked her in my very first one, which is in a playlist. I think it's called Stitch the Seasons. And so all of the things that I've done since the last time you saw it, I'm going to lower you so I can, see what I'm showing you. Okay. I've gone through the leaves and just put like an outline stitch on them here and here, mostly like the veins. That's what I'm trying to think of. The bird, the flower I've added the copper to. I did a little bit on this leaf here. I didn't do anything with these in the background. I might at some point in the future. The other bird. This is the heavily stitched flower that I'm not crazy about, however. And this one, but I'm not that unhappy with them. This one's also heavily stitched. This one's much lighter stitched. And in fact, with the copper thread in there, you can't even really see the other stitches that I did in it. More veins on these, didn't do anything with the acorns. On the chipmunk and the squirrel, I basically outlined them in black. And so that's kind of where I went with that. Did the veins on here. The other ones I was able to trim around because I have the little seed stitches in here. The white still shows. At some point I may take the little, not seed stitches, invisible stitches out and trim around the edges of these leaves. I don't know. This has a lot of white around it too. At some point, I don't know, maybe I'll take some tea and maybe use a paintbrush, but then it's going to blend so much into the background with these colors in it. I don't know what's going to happen. So I don't know. I learned a lot on this piece, but I'm going to finish it up. I'm going to add some little things here and there. Like, you know, I want to add some of these leaves. I have some of these little flowers here I want to add. I have these little flowers here that I'd like to add. And so I'm just going to add these in here and there. And kind of, then it's going to be called finished as far as I'm concerned. I may at some point do some more beading with the autumn colors. I may add some other things. I have a couple of wooden beads that I got off of a tray that we're using for a Christmas display. So I may add those. I also have this beautiful thread that I don't think I even cracked open. So I have a lot of things that I have left that I could use on here. I just don't know how much of it I'm going to cram on there. I am definitely going to fit some of this yarn on here. I dyed and spun this wool myself. Actually, I probably spun it and then dyed it, I think. I don't know. I used to do it both ways. I used to spin the yarn and then dye it, and I also used to dye the wool and then spin it. So, anywho's, I made something out of this. I may have given that away. I don't remember, or sold it. And so this is what I have left of it, but the colors match perfectly for autumn, for this autumn piece. So I'm trying to find an end, which of course I did not do to begin with. I hope this finds everybody doing well. I hope you're having a wonderful day or week. I can't believe we are like halfway through autumn already. Well, November. It's not autumn for everybody. Let me move you back up. Okay, now I'm not blinding you as I'm trying to do this. So I think Goodness gracious, Martha, could have done this beforehand. Put that over there. That's a usable thread I don't want to throw away. I would really like to use that color. However, I also really like this section over here, the gold, brownish gold. That's really pretty. Now, do I have a section? That's too pale for me. Yikes. I keep getting things tangled in this. And there's all kinds of threads also tangled in it. Let's move those over. Yeah, so I hope this finds you doing well. And like I said, and pull up a project, grab a cup of tea or whatever you like, and stitch along with me, because I love having the company. I love listening to others that are working on their stuff when I want to work on something of mine. And I just really like, sometimes, it's a matter of turning it around. I love having company when I'm stitching, and I depend on a few in particular to keep me company. And so I'm looking for something, a section of this that'll kind of give me, I don't know. What am I thinking here? That's pretty. I don't want it too heavy over the word autumn because, you know, that's already looking, I don't know, maybe I'll have to start it here, put some here. Well, I think the best thing I can do is probably start cutting into it and seeing. I mean, I'm not going to knit or crochet anything with this, I'm pretty sure. I think I'd be okay. I don't know, I feel like I'm crowding that word. Well, I think that's going to have to wait. I'm going to put the other stuff on since I can't decide. And I'm going to use some of this thread that I threw over this way, I think, to hold these on with. So I want a strong needle, but not necessarily a really long needle. I used to have a couple of real favorite needles, and I don't know what I did with them. I know I spread a lot of my needles out through several needle books, but then I brought them all back together again because I didn't like having them all spread out in different needle books. So, and some of these leaves are shiny. A few of them are more dull, which I kind of like, more matte finish. So like, I could see maybe something like that going over here. And I'm just going to tack these down, I think. Let me move them up this way. Just, I don't want to cover up my words. Yeah, I threaded it and unthreaded it. I'm only using a single strand, so this needle may not be the one for this. It's got a big eye in it, so let's see if I can get this to work. So how are you doing? Do you struggle with this time of year? If you do, I'm sorry. It can be hard on a lot of people. Daylight being shorter. I don't like to say the days are shorter. I mean, let's face it, the days are the same length. They're all, you know, every day is 24 hours. But the daylight definitely cutting out on us at 5 o'clock is kind of a hassle. Not always the easiest thing to cope with. I think I have a rough time transitioning seasons. So I don't know if anybody else out there does as well. Okay. I like that. I'm excited to get started on the winter themed one. It's going to take me probably some time, as it did with this one, to decide my layout and how I want it to appear. I have to figure out where I'm going with this. I think right here I'm going to, what do I want to put here? Now, do I want a flower over the top of this? I don't know. That's kind of cool. That's too dark. This is the last of this kind of flower that I have, and these are pretty much the last of the flowers. And I think I got these from Tuesday Morning, and bizarre information. I got a Tuesday Morning email this morning. Now, they closed down like 4 years ago, 3 years ago. And I have missed them sorely ever since they closed down, because I used to get a lot of my kind of mixed media, itchy eye, mixed media supplies from them. And I really miss that a lot. Can I take this off? I don't think I can, because I think then, come on, this needle is not going to go through. I wonder if I can get it to. Yeah, so the kind of mixed media supplies, paper supplies, journaling supplies, and supplies like these paper flowers, I can't find this kind of stuff anywhere anymore. So it's really frustrating. Now, this email said it was from Tuesday Morning, from somewhere in Utah. A Tuesday Morning in Utah, and it said home, and, you know, had different sections you could click on. Now, I have not clicked on any of them. Okay, I'm working really hard here, but it's not happening. Okay. I want to go over and through. There. I'm working my way around the petals that are sticking out and trying to get them so the stitches are holding the flower on, but that they're hidden more or less. So that's what I'm trying to do here, because my needle doesn't seem to want to go through any of the petals. So I'm probably using the wrong needle, but all right, Martha. Let's see. Can you pull that and not have it show? I don't think so. Yeah, it was like Tuesday morning. For those that don't know, it used to get, I'd say, overstock. Like they used to carry a ton of Tim Holtz stuff. I got almost all of my spray inks, Tim Holtz spray inks from them. And they were always much discounted prices, like very good discounts. And I'll tell you, it's like, even though I don't use that stuff anymore, there are some things that I used to find. They used to have some fabric pre-cuts there that were really good prices, and sometimes yarn. They had like the fun yarn, like the feathery yarn and stuff you can't buy anymore unless you find it in a thrift shop that somebody got rid of and didn't use. That didn't even go around anything. Okay, let's see if we can get it around a couple of petals. Nope, still not cooperating. There we go. So this is going to be sort of kind of barely holding on, but holding on nonetheless. Just lifting some of the petals in the front up so that they more or less hide the oopsies, the threads. Thread, I'm only using one. Okay. Yeah, so having this finished, I will be able to work out off camera, because typically me trying to figure out a plan for how I want something to be done is full of anxiety and angst and many changes in decisions. So I am trying to save you all from that. You can thank me later. And I'm going to try very hard to get more videos done. I was in a slump for a bit, and I think I wasn't the only one, to be honest. I've heard at least one other person talk about being in a slump. I like these little flowers too, and I think I only have a couple of them. And I did think about using one of these. Okay, let's do that. Let's change. Not much left to that thread. Let's see. I'm digging in my Ort can for threads, but I don't think that'll be the right one. That's too yellow. We'll get my regular sewing thread out. Just use some of that. I have all kinds of threads sitting over here from the various projects I have going on, even though I try to have a box for each project, and I'm trying really hard to keep them separate. I had so much stuff piled up over here that the other day I actually tripped over it trying to open the draperies that are in my, I have blackout curtains in my in the bedroom here in this room, and yeah, I went to open them, and I knew the stuff was there, but I totally just fell. It wasn't a hard fall, so at least there was that. But I did fall over and have to catch myself with my hand, and that aggravated my wrist and my thumb, so, and my pinky finger. So that wasn't fun. I'm fine. I was mad at myself for doing it, so I picked everything up, sorted through it, and got it out of there, got it out of that area. Because in the mornings, I, tend to get up and open the curtains cover a double sliding glass door, so it's quite big. And so I get up every morning so that I can sort of see the daylight, because that helps me wake up in a better mood. So I get up, use the bathroom, and then I tend to open the curtains. And yeah, so I had to clean that mess up and consolidate it a little bit in the area it was in, because it had become dangerous. I'm sure many of you can relate. And yeah, so I'm just making sure these don't, over time, these petals, I did the inside of the flower, but I want to do the edges of the petals as well, because it's over time, I don't want gravity to pull them downward, as gravity does as you get older. Again, I'm sure many of you can relate. Yes. So I'm just trying to put the edges down as well, which I probably could have done in the first place and not even worried about the center. Oh, Martha, come on. See, I torture you all enough with my lack of grace when I'm working on these things. I do have the sliding glass door open, but that's because the sun has been making it very warm in this room, even though it's very chilly outside. And when it gets so warm and cozy in this room, number one, it makes me sleepy. Number two, I walk out into the kitchen or the living room, and holy cow, it feels cold out there. But that's because the thermostat registers the heat that's coming in this room from the windows. Even though I keep the curtains shut, the thermostat currently reads 72, and it's only set to 70 for the heat. So, yeah, it's, have I done these? Yeah. All right, you can stop stitching that flower now, Martha. Now, adding these, am I overdoing it? Maybe. Hopefully not. I'll hope not. I just want little bits here and there. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to take away from the bird, but maybe I'll put one there. And honestly, these little touches at the end, I was kind of excited about doing them. I'm having a time today, guys. Oops, come on. All right, finally. This little tiny tacking stitches in here. And I've looked at little flowers like this, these little fabric flowers you can buy in different colors. Gosh, they've gone up in price. Used to be able to get them for like $1.99, and now they're like $5 for a little package of maybe 10. Yeah. Crafting is not inexpensive, that's for sure. And honestly, I do try to use what I've got, but eventually that stuff's going to be done. And I don't have the resources to find it anymore in some cases, so. Just gotta do other things, I guess, huh? Yep. All right, I think I had one more of those. Where could it be? Come out, wherever you are. I probably knocked it off here somewhere. There it is. Now, do I want it up here near this bird? As something different? Do I want it down here somewhere? Yeah, I'll put it down here. Just for the hay of it, you know? Just some dimensional things on here. And like I said, I have learned some things on this one, and I hope I remember those things on the next 3, since this will be going for 3 more seasons. And by December 1st, I will, which is only a couple weeks away. How scary is that? I will be starting that, and that means I have to make the decisions about that way before I start. And I really am going to try and start to video ahead again. I'm not going to be as prolific as some others have been. I just can't. I tried, I mean, that 100-day project, I did that every day for 100 days in a row. And there were a few I didn't record, but, you know, it's exhausting. It really is. Now, I have to be careful not to sew through this, because that's where my dowel is going, the wooden dowel is going to go. So I am trying to make sure I don't know if that leaf is too overpowering. I wish these came in different sizes, like smaller sizes. That just about covers up that hole. Could do it like that. I think I like the darker one behind it. What do you think? I mean, you won't be able to tell me. I mean, you can tell me, but I'm going to stitch it on before you get your answer to me, so. Yeah, I like that. Okay. Let's see, not copper, not that, that's too dark. Is that long enough? Not really. I'm going to have to get some thread out. No, not that either. Okay, thread. What am I going to use? Not that. Here we go on a thread hunt. Something in the kind of pale gold yellow. Is that too dark? Yeah, that'll do. That's good enough. Here's a double strand. So are you planning any special projects for Thanksgiving, which we celebrate here in America near the end of December? Near the end of November. Are you doing any projects for that or for Christmas? Or any other holiday in that time frame? Are you doing anything for that? Okay, let's see. Again, can't get through the petals. That's what I want to do. Come on. Okay. Now, a thimble would be a really good idea right about now. I have a silicone thimble, but that doesn't keep the needle from pushing into my finger, so I think we are just going to struggle through this. I think adding 3D effects are really fun and liven up a flat piece. And since I'm hanging this on the wall, I really can do as much as I want with that. It's not going into a frame or anything. It's going to be just freely hanging on a dowel. These stitches should be plenty to hold this on. This one's easier to sew through. Or maybe I just got the hang of it already? Who knows? Come on. So we have no special plans for Thanksgiving or Christmas. So yeah. Not as of yet. If we were going to have plans, it would be nice to know them by now, but that's not up to me. So I'm just hanging loose. And we're gonna go with the flow. Alrighty. Now, I wonder, I thought about a few hanging off the end down here. Just like hanging a few of these leaves off in various colors. I thought that would be pretty. However, I could also do the yarn at the bottom since it didn't really work at the top. I could do something like that and then hang the leaves off of that. Or, you know, I really am leaning towards this color because I really love it. This here, this rusty bit here. I could do this where it transitions. think that's what I'm going to do. Oh, I should have left it long. Oh, darn. Then it could have hung down. All right. Well, just chop it up, Martha. Where's halfway? If I did that there, could also do that. Although I think that's going to add too much to that. I don't know. I don't like that. I think I'm going to hang this off the bottom, and I'll leave it sort of like I'll start, the middle's right there, the center. Okay. I think I have a plan-ish, sort of a plan. I know, just get new thread out. I'm such a frugal person. I really don't want to do that when I can use this. I just have to cut that little end off that's knotted up. That's all. Actually, I don't. If I line these ends up, there we go. This should blend in really well. Let's see. Okay. And then we will just maybe create a big fat knot here. What I'll do is, I think I'll hide the knot right in this wool. Or not. That didn't work very well. Okay. Besides, I need to start on one end, right? If I start in the middle, then I got to go back and do to the other end. I think that's about centered. Then I can decide what to do with the ends later. I can either leave them hanging, cut them off, put them up the sides. I think what I might do is put the dowel in it and hang it on the wall and see what looks best. And sometimes that's what you have to do is you know, if it's going to hang, vertically on the wall and not be laying flat on your desk, it brings a whole new different view of what it's going to look like when it's actually hanging. So I think that would be a good idea. Come on, stay down at the end. I'm slowly working my way upwards at a slant and don't want that. Ow! Yowie! That hurt. I didn't stab my left hand, I stabbed my right finger right in there with the eye end of the needle, which is still quite sharp, surprisingly. If it's going in your cuticle. So I know at the beginning I struggled with trying to put this together, and what I wanted it, like I had no specific vision for it, but now that I've done this one, and when I finally approached this one as like a big snippet roll kind of thing, that really was a breakthrough for me. So I don't know if you ever do something like this, if that will help you as well. If you like making snippet rolls, have made many snippet rolls in the past, and I really like doing it. I struggled with every single one of them, I think, but once I figured it out, then I was better at it, and that sort of helped me pull this together. I think, you know what I really struggle with is the components, like pulling together the components. Like I was like, well, I know I have birds, but are they going to match the fabric I'm going to use and the color scheme for fall? And are, you know, where am I going to find? Then I found the fabric with the chipmunks and the squirrels, and it has something else in it too. I can't remember what. No bunnies. Wish it had bunnies in it. But anyway, yeah, a little forest type scenery. And when I found that, it was like, okay, because I already had the sunflower fabric, but this fabric with the squirrel and the chipmunk, I do know the difference. When I did that, that really helped improve it a lot in my brain. And, you know, that's where I struggle, is in my brain. All right, so how many of these leaves do I have? That's it. Interesting. All right, so these are, yeah, I'll do one here, and I'll do this one here, and maybe that one there. Maybe one there, and one on this end. By golly, I think that'll do it. And I'm just going to attach them up here. And then I'll just bring this over. That's going somewhere in here. Hopefully I have enough thread to catch this all the way across. That would be nice. And if not, then I'll figure it out. Right? Right. We always figure it out. No big deal. No big deal. Alrighty. Uh-oh. Some of my thread didn't pull through. See if I can get that down. There we go. Wool is great for hiding things, that's for sure. I think I'm just going to make it here. Ow! Of course, I had to unthread my needle. Of course she did. 20 times a video. I can sit here and unthread my needle once in 2 hours of work without a camera on. Camera on? At least 10 times a video, I swear. It's just amazing, isn't it? Just have to make sure this one's really on. All right. And like I said, I'm going to leave those ends hanging. I mean, there's a lot I could do with them besides letting them hang down. Well, a few things that I can think of that I could do with them. All right, I'm calling that good. It's not like where if something happens, I won't know where to find the seamstress. All right, now I did want to cover this flower here because to me it looks odd just sticking out like that. Now, do I use that color? This is getting a little beat up. Do I use that color? That blends in really well. Do I have one this color on here? I do not. Or do I use this color? That's the only leaf I have left. Nope, it's not. I have a bright one. Ah, too many things. Sometimes too many choices. And I could do that. Yeah, I like that one. Okay, thread. Find a thread. Thread the needle. Probably need a darker thread than this. Let's see, what do we got over here? Nope. 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 Oh, we'll make this work. Just using what's on my desk. And once I get this hung up, maybe I'll find a dowel downstairs in the basement this evening when I'm done with this. And then we will hang it up and I can take a picture and put it at the end of the video. No promises, but that would be helpful. So you can see what I've done and what it's going to look like hung up. Because I'm excited. I want to see it hung up. And I have like 2 weeks until the end of November. Thereabout-ish. And I can keep this up until we take down the fall decorations, the autumn decorations, and start putting up Christmas. There's already some Christmas up on our mantle. I know. It's a little early. But as I've said in a previous video, I really have not wanted to decorate for years. Years. I mean, I'm talking probably a good maybe 10-ish years. I've decorated, but very minimally. And I just feel like this is the year that I want to pull out a little more. And so there's already some new stuff on the mantle. And we still have to pull out the previous stuff that we own, which isn't a whole lot because I really got rid of a lot of stuff and minimized all of that. Because it just was, I don't know. I won't go into that. But anyhow. Come on, let's do this. Now, these are paper, so they're getting a little tiny bit fragile with the handling, and they were in the bottom of the basket that I was using to store, and I took them out and put them in, took them out, put them in. So they are sort of falling apart a little bit. I think these are the last fall colors I have. I do have more of these flowers. I just remembered I do have some more. I'm not going to put any down here with these leaves because I think it'll cover up the squirrel and the chipmunk too much, take away from them. There's already enough going on. Okay. And there was one more. Let's see. I was thinking of doing these. Uh-oh. One missing in action. Now, I did think about putting these, like gluing them to the end of the dowel, but I don't think I'd be able to get my hangings on and off the same dowel. And I would like to use the same dowel for all of them. So I don't think I'm going to put those on. I do also have these. These belong to my brother. They came off of some jewelry he had. Well, I'm going to hold off on that as well. Alrighty, so let's see. We are at 51 minutes. It's shocking how quickly the time goes by with these videos. I just honestly don't know where it goes. Oops. So this is what it looks like. I'm going to raise you up because you're not getting the full effect. Let's see. Of course, you see the light in there. The light over here. That's what it looks like, folks. It's not hanging up. I will get a picture of it hanging up later today or at the end of this video. So thanks everybody for joining me on this project. I hope you'll come back for the winter project, and the spring project, and the summer project. If I can hang in there and keep doing these. It's been fun. I like doing it. So I hope to stick with this. And I hope you have a great day. Happy crafting, everyone. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.